people, it's your host from Paralounge, Clinton, and this is part of my video series, Paralounge Experience. I hope you go to my YouTube channel and subscribe, because I'm putting out these videos. Hopefully my opinion counts for something, and I'm helping somebody out with what they're trying to do. Today's video is, in my opinion, the 4 different types of drum circles that I've encountered over the years. There's lots of groups on Facebook and on the internet that people are talking about their drum circles, talking about their drum circle experiences and what they're doing, and I like to monitor all those and check them out because I'm just obsessed with drum circles, and I love knowing what's going on out there and developing my own ideas and concepts. And sometimes I see folks out there having conversations about say they're fixing they're looking for a place to set up a drum circle, or they're going to a drum circle and it doesn't seem to be functioning the way they expected it to, and they might be complaining about some type of experience that they didn't really expect, or something of that nature. And sometimes I'm watching the thread, and I'm add my opinion in there and stuff like that. But sometimes I have to think to myself, well, maybe you're going to the wrong drum circle. Maybe you're expecting something from this drum circle that doesn't fit in the category that you're looking for. And so it's just my opinion, and but I put together 4 categories of drum circles that I've encountered over the years, and maybe that'll give you a little bit more of a focus on what you're looking for in the experience that you're looking for, or maybe it'll help you understand your drum circle a little bit more. So I'm hoping I could be useful with that. So the types of drum circles that I've experienced over the years, in my opinion, would be, number 1 would be the private drum circle. And let me explain what, in my opinion, what a private drum circle is. And that's a drum circle where, it's basically invitation only, or, basically it can't be found unless you go and find it, I'm going to say a culturally specific drum circle where you're required to play a certain instrument, you're required to play a certain rhythm. So somebody who's not educated with that wouldn't be invited, so I would call that a private drum circle event. Lessons where you're going and you have an instructor who's maybe or may not being paid to give you instructions on how to play a certain rhythm or play a certain instrument, and so not just anybody can walk up and play with them, so I'm going to call that a private drum circle event. Perhaps it's a religious event, perhaps just in as an example, the pagan events, drum circles a large part of their religious structure, so they practice drumming, and if you don't have to be pagan. Drumming is a part of all kinds of religions, so I don't want any negativity out of that. I want you to know that I'm aware of that. But so in that case, one religion may not want to be a part of another religious ceremony, so I would call that a private event. So basically, that's my category for a private drum circle. Is you got to be invited to it. You got to function a certain way. You're basically being told how to function in that drum circle, or being told where and when and all those type of things. My number 2 category would be the adult drum circle. And when I say adult drum circle, I need everybody to open their minds up to the concept that not everybody raises their children the same. So what I would call an adult drum circle would be a drum circle where there may be children present. There may be children there in the drum circle, in the experience. But what we have to do is we have to open our minds to the fact that if you're having these drum circles, you have to really put them under a magnifying glass and say to yourself, is there any element in this drum circle that might make another family uncomfortable with the experience? Some families may feel uncomfortable if they feel like the drum circle has pagan tendencies, and they're not pagans. They may feel uncomfortable with that. If there's, say the drum circle's at a brewery, the brewery sells cheeseburgers and french fries, and kids can go in there and eat, and kids are allowed to be at that in that space. But some parents might not want to take their children to a place, say, where there's being alcohol served, so I have to call that an adult drum circle. A music festival. I've been to lots of music festivals, and I can tell you, there's been children out at our drum circles plenty of times, and And I can tell you that some parents, and maybe a lot of parents, would not want their children to be part of that experience. So I would call that an adult drum circle. No matter if there's children there or not, you really have to put everything under a microscope and say, hey, will every family be comfortable in this space? And if you find a family that would maybe not be, be comfortable in this space, and you have to tell yourself, well, this is basically an adult drum circle space. So that would be my number 2 category of an adult drum circle. And there's nothing negative about that. I just, I've been to drum circles where they called it a community drum circle, and I walked into it, and it was beautiful, and there was lots of community, but it was community members. And, I looked around and I thought, some people might not bring their children into this environment. And I thought, well, this isn't really a community drum circle per se. So I just want to open up that conversation that, microscope your drum circle and really give yourself a thought about, is this space really conducive for every family member to, attend? Because it's not a bad thing. It's just, you just have to be open-minded about that and know what type of drum circle you're going to or that you're creating. Number 3 would be team building. So a team building drum circle, usually a facilitated drum circle, usually you're going into schools or senior centers or juvenile facilities, things of that nature, where you're using that unifying component of the drum circle to bring people together. You're using it as a tool to maybe fix certain situations where you have, say, like a juvenile facility where the kids are violent or have different issues that stop them from getting along with each other or understanding what community means, or they've never been exposed to this type of thing where they felt accepted or felt like they were a part of something. So you're bringing that experience to somebody who really needs it, and once you show it to them, they walk away with a life-changing experience, hopefully. So and then you have, like, say, a corporate setting where you have team building, where you have and this is just my opinion, and I'm not trying to say anything negative, but you have folks with suits on, they're professionals, they're walking around stiff all day trying to be do their jobs, and they don't really know each other in the office. And you put them in a drum circle and you have a team building experience where the drum circle facilitator gets them all smiling and grinning and playing games with each other, and that happiness, that feeling of community and connection, all that is a residual effect. So it really works well to bring it into corporate environments, because everybody who works in the building now has a connection that they didn't have before. They know what it's like to smile with each other. They might joke with each other a little more. They're going to be more productive because the communication in the group is at a higher level now because they're more comfortable with each other. So the team building experience in, say, the corporate area is very powerful, and to me, that the team building drum circle is one of my favorite things. Now, number 4 is the community drum circle, and here's where I might ruffle some feathers a little bit, and I don't mean to say anything negative about anybody, and I don't want to act like I know everything, because this is just my opinion. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Clinton's opinion on what a community drum circle is. A community drum circle is in a public space where people can randomly encounter the drum circle. Okay? Randomly encountering the drum circle is what the drum circle needs in order for it to grow substantially and have diversity in its community. And as an example, and this is just an example, I mean nothing negative about that, this is just my opinion, is let's just say, as an example, you find an Italian restaurant that says, hey, come on out here and have your drum circle. We have this beautiful grassy knoll out here. You guys can come out here and play your drums. We'd love for you to be patrons to our restaurant. We know you're a beautiful community, and you have this residual relationship with the restaurant, and it's great and it's awesome, and you see your community growing, and everybody's enjoying being near this area where they can get drinks and have dinner and things of that nature, and that is 100% awesome. And I have nothing negative to say about it. I just want you to think about this. If you're sitting in an Italian restaurant and your drum circle's growing and the community knows it's there, the community's being invited, first of all. Say all the drummers are telling all their drummer friends to come. And then you have people who are going to the restaurant who may or may not know about the drum circle. So they're random encounters, that are coming in. But those random encounters are going into an Italian restaurant. So I'm just going to have to say, it's just my opinion, maybe your drum circle's overrun with people who love to eat spaghetti. And that's just a joke, because what I'm saying is, what you want is people to be attracted to your drum circle randomly. If you're sitting in a restaurant, area, and this is just my opinion, then you're really attracting the people and the community around that experience, around that restaurant. Okay, if you're in a brewery, you're attracting people around that experience in that brewery. Whatever you're building it at, even if you can have people from random encounters see and hear your drum circle, they're still going to be focused on whatever area you're focused in. So if you're at a restaurant somewhere, or you're at a brewery or something of that nature, then the people being attracted to that area are there for that, and you're going to get those types of people. Okay, and this is just my opinion. But if you have a community leader who's motivated enough to monthly go down to their town hall and pull permits, because if you will go and pull a permit for your drum circle, and it's a lot of work, and the only thing I mean by a lot of work is it's a lot of responsibility. It's not any work at all, really. I worked with my local town hall, and I'm in a small town, so it's easy for me. Everybody's, small town's easy to function mostly. So I went down and asked for a permit a few times, and they were finally like, Clint, I'll just email it to you. You fill it out, email it back to me. It got that easy for me. But when you go and you fill out a permit, and you go and you find you a downtown area, because there's places you have to understand that most towns, even the little tiny town of Live Oak that I live in, that's an hour away from a small town and an hour and a half away from a big town. This little tiny town, and almost every town out there, especially your bigger towns, have venues where they have live music. Almost every town does. And they'll have that venue built in a business district, because in the business district there's not as much, say, sound issues. Business districts are usually built in a way where they thrive off of each other. If there's music going on, then they're going to get people off that crowd, So usually these types of business districts where your town builds music venues is where the businesses thrive off of each other in that experience. So if you can find a downtown area that has a music venue somewhere, say even if it's just a pavilion or something, if you can go and get those type of permits and go into those areas, you'll exponentially grow your drum circle, because you'll have the random encounters that I speak of, where people are not expecting to have a drum circle experience. And those random encounters means you will get a diverse community, meaning, and that's what I meant by like the restaurant experience. Everybody going to that restaurant will be, pulled over to drum circle if they're attracted to it. Well, if you're in a downtown area, they might not be there for a certain reason that defines their focus. So you'll end up with lawyers and police officers, and you'll end up with maybe homeless people or teachers and students. You'll end up with a diverse amount of people that are moving through that area that aren't there for drum circle. That's where you'll hear your stories where I was having a rough time, I felt lonely, and then I was downtown riding my bicycle, and I heard this drumming, and I thought, hey, that sounds cool. I rode up on the circle, and next thing you know, I'm part of this community, and now I'm up there. I go every week, and it gives me something where I feel connected. Those are the stories you want to hear. So that's why I'm putting this video out. So if maybe you're complaining a little bit, maybe you're going to a drum circle and you're like, man, these guys, they're playing this way that I was really expecting this to happen. Maybe you just might want to think about, what kind of drum circle are you attending? And maybe, if you're not getting the experience you want, maybe if you want that experience enough and you feel motivated to be a an organizer, then maybe you need to organize the drum circle that you're looking for and give that space a try. But that's why I'm making the video, so that people can think about the type of drum circle that's being created or the type of drum circle that they're attending, and then really define it and think about, okay, that's really what's going on here. Because I feel like if you think about it enough, things will develop better. You know, you'll be able to, develop the space into even more into community space, or even more towards this. You know, you'll be able to focus the space. That's all I'm saying. And I just want to open up that conversation with the video. So I hope you enjoyed it. Go check out my website, www.paralounge.net. Subscribe to my YouTube channel so you can see my videos and get alerts on all that good stuff and support what I got going on. And definitely check out the events we have coming up with Paralounge, because it's a good time. So hope you enjoyed the video. Enjoy your next drum circle. Be safe, and I'll see you later.